Hey y'all, hey, it's Maisha Charnel, and I make Christian faith-based content with uplifting tips on motherhood and building a tribe of sisterhood. And I know I have taken 2 weeks off, but I'm back like I never left. So yeah, let's just jump right on into these 3 major tips that I use as a single mother. The topic for today is 3 things that I do not allow as a single mother. Coming in number one is, this one is a good one. Number one is allow men that I just casually talk to or speak to around my children. So let me dive a little bit deeper into the meaning of that. So you have a guy that you just started talking to. So right now it's very surface level. You're getting to know the guy, and this is just someone you're trying to build a friendship with, possibly a relationship with. But when you're just casually speaking to this guy, you don't really know the guy. I do not allow a man who I just casually speak to or a guy that I'm just now getting to know around my children for several different reasons. Maybe talk about 2 or 3 of the reasons why I don't allow just a man that I'm casually speaking to around my children, which I mean, it's really common sense, but you do have some mothers that, that's new to this, and they can be maybe just a little naive, and your children are literally your heart, your life. And you don't want just a stranger around them, and you never know their intentions. And I know you've heard so many horror stories about things happening to children, XYZ, because you don't really know a person. And yes, truth be told, you can know a person for years and they can still do something harmful to your child, but the stakes are higher when you are just bringing someone you really don't know around your child. So no, baby, if I'm still feeling you out, I don't know you, I don't know your morals, I don't know your values, I don't know your heart posture, I'm not going to bring you around my child, someone who's safe and sacred to my heart, someone I birthed, someone that God put in my life to protect. No. We're gonna do a trial, honey. I need to at least get to know. Not even at least. I need to know you. I need to know the depths of you before I allow you around my children. That's just a no-go for me. And then the second reason is because, say for instance, if you bring a man around and your children starts to like the guy, they see the guy as a good male figure in their life, they tend to grow a connection, a bond, and it ends up not working out between you and a guy. Now it has left the child with a heartbreak, because they have become so adjusted to having this person in their life, and now the person is stripped away from them, and it's not likely to cut off or stop dealing with someone, but still allow them to be a part of your child's life, especially if it's not their biological father. So just think about that. If you're going through a separation with a guy, you're also going to have to go through a separation with the child and the guy as well. You want everything to be concrete, solid, okay, before you bring a man around your child. It's so many benefits to actually getting to know a person before you just dive right on in it. Like, I know you see a lot of videos or you see a lot of love stories, and although that can happen, you may genuinely find someone who loves you and loves your child with good intentions, but at the same time, you just want to be safe than sorry. So that is my number one. Don't allow a man around your child or children that you just casually speak to. Get to know the person, get to know his background, get to know his upbringing, his morals. All of that plays a major part, okay? And then you casually bring him around your child. So I recommend that if you are doing that, just take into consideration that it's best if you get to know a man before you just bring them around your child. And I'm gonna move on to number 2, which is I'm not gonna allow just any person to come and watch my child. Yes, so I'm gonna piggyback off of number 1. Like I said in number 1, you don't know a person's true intention. And I cannot stress this enough that people have evil motives. People's heart is not in the right place. People don't know Jesus. People are impatient. People, you just can't trust people. Moral of the story, you just can't trust people. And I would rather have to cancel plans or not send my child anywhere where I personally am not comfortable with leaving my children with. Again, they are my safe and sacred possessions. If I have to stay at home, I have to stay at home. If I have to cancel plans, I'm gonna cancel plans. Because what I don't want to happen is something happens to my child just because I wanted to go do something. It's never that serious for me, okay? I have never been the one, even when my children were young, especially when they were young. I did not just allow anyone to watch my children. And yes, I would have family and maybe some friends that even offered to watch my child or children, and I would decline it because it's not because I don't trust them. It's because I personally didn't feel like I was comfortable with them watching my child. Nothing against them. They're not a bad person, but I have to feel it in my heart because too many things happen, and literally it would crush me if something was to happen to my children just because I wanted to do something or I needed a babysitter and I just was so eager to find anyone to watch my child. No, I'm not doing it. I will rather, like I said, I'm gonna keep saying it, I would rather cancel my plans. Anything that I have to do, no. If my children cannot come with me and I don't have a reliable, trustworthy babysitter, then I'm just not gonna go. It is what it is, and that's just a big part of motherhood, having to say no, doing what is best for your child, because at the end of the day, your children come to you, they look up to you to protect them and to keep them safe. So we have to be selfless. We cannot put ourselves first. We cannot put our wants first. Yes, their trip to Cancun may sound real nice. Yes, going to have dinner with your girls sounds real nice. Or maybe a date night with your man sounds real nice. But what's not nice is getting bad news about your child because you chose to drop your kids off with XYZ. And now this person has done something, or not even that. It doesn't even have to necessarily be that that person can do something to your child. It could be how they watch your children. Not everybody is capable of watching your children. Some people are irresponsible. A lot of people are irresponsible. A lot of people don't have patience. A lot of people will probably just let your child do whatever. And now something comes up because of this person that you allow to watch your child. Like I said, never that serious. Not for me at all. And I'm going to leave that right there. And I don't want to hear or see anything about any child because the lack of responsibility on the mother's part when it came to picking a reliable, trustworthy babysitter. And that's all I'm gonna say. And we're gonna move on to the third and final one, which is, this is I want to say this is probably my favorite. Well, honestly, all three plays a major part in my life, but this one here just hits home for me. Number 3 is I don't allow anyone else to raise my children. And when I say that, like I said, it just hits home for me because my mom, she raised me, but I have relatives, family members who mother could not raise them or did not want to raise them or just allowed their children to be with grandma, auntie, cousin, friend more than they were with their mother. And it's actually doing more damage than it's doing good. Yes, although you're probably getting a break, although your children may like it over grandma's friend house or auntie house, but just think about this. If your child is never with you and they're always with whoever else, then that person is going to become a significant role model in their life. That is going to be the person that they tend to respect and tend to obey more than you. And they will no longer really have a relationship with you. You're losing a relationship with your child because you're not raising them. You cannot expect for a child to respect you and to have a close relationship with you if you're never around them to raise them. That was so major for me. Quick little backstory. It's so funny thinking about it. I remember when I got pregnant with my daughter, and I was still fairly young, and on her dad's side, he had a lot of aunties, right? And this was like their first great niece. Yeah, I think I'm saying it right. And they were so excited that I was pregnant and I was having a girl. I remember I was driving in a car with one of the aunties, and she was like, I'm not sure if she was serious. She could have been serious. But I remember driving in a car with her, and she was going through every day of the week telling me which auntie would have my child. Y'all, in the back of my head, I was laughing it off, but in the back of my head, I was crying. So I was like, oh my gosh, I'm never gonna have my child. Like, I'm gonna have to share my child. I'm gonna only have one day out of a week to be with my child. And that devastated me. It devastated me. I had to go back and tell my daughter's dad. I was like, listen, we're gonna have to set some boundaries because I want my child to know that I'm mommy. I want my child to know that I love her. I want to raise my child. I don't want everyone else raising my child and my child have no relationship with me. And from that day forward, I put it in my head. I was like, no, my child is going to be with me. And I will give you all your days or your times where I want you to get my child. And it wasn't often. When I had my child, I immediately had a bond with my child, with both of my children. I immediately had a bond, and I knew in my heart that I was going to strive to be the best parent that I can be, which means having to be around. I want them to know who mommy is. That was so important to me, for my children to know who is mommy, and that they had a great relationship, a great bond from birth to now with me. I get it. I get it. I get it. You need a break. I'm not saying it's something bad with letting your children go over grandma's house or go over, auntie's house for a few weeks or maybe even for a summer break. That is cool. But when your child is consistently gone and always around someone else, another adult, and they're looking after them and they're taking care of them more than you are, then that's where the issue lies. Because I've seen so many kids turn their backs on their mother because they're never with them. How can you have a say-so in a child's life if you're not in it? That's all I'm gonna say. So yeah, just do your best to raise your children yourself. Do your best to raise your children yourself. Yes, we all need help. We all need a village, and I'm not disregarding that at all. But what I am saying, you're mommy, and your child wants you. Your child needs you to be their mom. Okay? All right, y'all. And so those are all of the tips that I have for you today. I hope this reaches someone who needed to hear it, and I hope you all implement it in your life like I do for myself. And again, until next time,